Maybe I'm crazy, but some fans might end up with hands-on on them this holiday season. It's about to be hands-on
Christmas season fights?
I mean, it seems like that's what people want.
In the arena?
It seems like that's what people want. We'll get to it later. In a little bit.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.
Welcome to Maybe I'm Crazy podcast. I'm Joy Taylor, that's Brandon Newman.
Hi.
We didn't do the sweaters this year. We didn't even discuss it, and I'm glad we didn't have to because, I thought about it,
right.
And I was like, I do have an ugly sweater. It's
right.
Not ugly. It's actually adorable.
Yeah, great.
But it has like the reversible glitter thing on it, which is very hot.
What is reversible glitter?
Not glitter.
Sequins.
Like
where you just like sequence.
Like this. It's one color and then you go that way.
That is,
It's the other color. Bella loves it. Anyway, the point is I just wasn't doing a sweater today.
I did. December.
And I'm in LA and it's not hot.
It's just everything's thrown off. Everything's thrown off in December. We have holiday parties, like the regular work days are different.
Christmas sweaters.
I know, but I'm saying that's last year.
That's last year.
Yeah, everyone's having
like this
respectful.
Look. It's festive. It's original.
Thank you. I'm wearing.
You have some bow tie. I don't know where it came from, but
Ari hooked me up with the bobo. But I'm wearing a Big Baller hoodie because shouts out to the Santa Claus of content, LeVar Ball. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know what I mean?
Strong
you just gotta be out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got our little festive set. Merry Christmas.
Yes. You got the Mariah
Happy
Carey.
holidays. Well, yeah, I got it. Where'd it go?
Woo!
I thought the shirt was strong.
It is.
It's the best Christmas song ever. Doesn't she make like $60 million a year? No. What are you talking about?
She makes ballads.
I think she I could be just completely making this up. Got data fact. I think she makes $60 million a year off of her Christmas album alone.
I like that. No, that's not good data fact. That's real now. Congratulations, Mariah Carey.
Congratulations, Mariah Carey.
Yeah, on the earnings.
Congratulations, Mariah Carey, on being Mariah Carey.
Yes.
One day I hope to be as crazy at life as Mariah Carey.
Like enough people respect you enough to like you can be as crazy as you like to be.
You can do whatever you want.
Right.
Like you can just be like, I just want tea right now.
Right. Where's the tea?
We're
at the temperature that you asked for.
We're in the desert. Yeah. I didn't remember. I don't recall asking you where we were. I recall asking you where I don't have tea. Where's my tea?
Yeah.
It's that, and that 10 seconds of conversation we just had, you could have brought me. It could have been tea sooner to my hand.
Yeah, we gotta be careful around artists and crazy talk. We'll get to Kanye later.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, it's the holiday season. We're gonna do lots of Christmas stuff today, and we'll have a little extra Christmas bonus episode for you as well. I'm very excited for Christmas. I'm going to Pittsburgh and I'm going to Kansas City.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna hopefully have a white Christmas. Not as white as the Thanksgiving that I had in Kansas City.
Oh yes,
we got stuck in the blizzard.
Yes.
And that was interesting.
It's not like snow
I haven't
on
seen
Christmas.
snow like that in a long time. Yeah, but I've spent a lot of Christmases in Miami, so
you don't care anymore.
I'm kind of used to it. Well, no, if I'm in a cold weather place, I'd prefer to have some snow.
Right.
Because
like
it's
while
cold.
you're there.
Right. Yeah. Like notice we're here.
Yeah.
Let's get some snow.
Right.
In Miami, not so much.
Never.
No, it doesn't snow in Miami ever. But anyway, I'm very excited for Christmas. For the families, I also my standing on holiday conversations stands from Thanksgiving. Argue with your family. If you have family there with you on Christmas Eve, Noche Buena, that you have not had the opportunity to argue with yet, do so. Change the world one heart at a time.
Amen.
It takes courage to change people's hearts. I saw a Green Book the other night. Me and Earl went and saw it.
That's with
Mahershala Ali and Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah, Driving Miss Daisy 2.0.
No, it's a very good movie.
That's what the previews look like.
It's a very good movie.
Okay.
I recommend it.
I'll check it out.
So the NFL playoffs picture is looking very interesting. The thing about it is I don't know who the f***'s going to win.
There's a lot of options. A lot of ways things can be played
Literally,
out.
if you make the playoffs, it's an option at this point. Most years, this whole NFL season has been very bizarre. Like it's one of the best NFL seasons I can remember.
Yes, because of the craziness.
Because of the craziness, mostly everyone is healthy, and even if they're not all the way healthy, they're like still out there, like Aaron Rodgers and Cam Newton. So they're still playing.
Right.
Carson Wentz does his thing where he plays most of the season, and in the last 3 weeks he decides to take off. And
Nick Foles does his thing.
And then Nick Foles does his thing where he comes in and wins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on there, but I'm honestly one injury away from Carson Wentz is a bust, and Dak Prescott was the better pick.
I mean, I was thinking, what can the Eagles get for Carson Wentz right now? Because you got to consider that as well. If you like Nick Foles, if Nick Foles makes a little run, you got to think about what you can get for Carson Wentz as a football team.
Well, the thing is, like Nick Foles isn't a better quarterback than Carson Wentz. Or is he? Who knows? Because it seems like the Eagles do all the winning when Carson Wentz is out.
They won the Super Bowl with a lesser quarterback. I think try to do it again.
It's very weird. The Eagles have had a very up and down season, but they're still in the hunt. The Browns are available to make the playoffs. People.
Some things need to happen. Some people need to tie for that to happen, but it still can happen.
Well, here let's look at it this way. Okay, there's a lot of people who are still in the hunt. Eliminated is the Packers. We know that. The Falcons, Bucks, Giants, Lions, 49ers, and the Cardinals. And the Panthers are eliminated now too, right? Or are they still available?
They're technically still in it. They're in it still. The Jets are eliminated. The Jets are eliminated, I think.
No, according to this piece of information I have here, which I'm assuming is accurate, yes, the Broncos, Bengals, Bills, Jags, of course, Jets, and the Raiders are all eliminated from the playoffs. But the Browns are still in it. It's amazing. But the teams that we thought at the beginning of the year, like the Rams, and the Steelers have just had insane seasons. Now the Steelers have been up and down. That's traditionally what they do. But the Rams were like lockdown Super Bowl champs halfway through the season, and then all of a sudden they just started to forget how to score points.
No, it's the problem with catching fire at the beginning half of the season. Ever since they lost to the Bears, what was it? It was a primetime game, right? Sunday Night Football. Ever since they lost in overtime to the Bears Sunday night, they've been deteriorating. They can't do anything on the offense. Because their defense is
well, basically since that Monday Night Football win over the Chiefs, Jared Goff has played his worst 3 games of the season in succession. So their offensive line isn't playing as good as they were before, and they lost Cooper Kupp, which was a big deal. Like it didn't seem like that was a big deal at the time, but it is. The Saints' performance against the Panthers Monday night was also very bizarre because they were scoring a bajillion points, the most in the league, and now all of a sudden they can't score points either.
It's December. It's defense time. And don't that's it. Good teams win in December. It's in college football, same as it is in NFL, and defense showing up makes the biggest difference.
Yeah, I mean it is, but despite this like offensive explosion that we've seen this year. But I also don't want to get too crazy. Like I feel like we all react to the trends. Like the offensive side of the ball was trending, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, the league has completely changed, and defense doesn't matter anymore." And now we're in December, and everyone's like, "See, I told you the whole time, defense matters."
We're gonna start calling it by seasons.
How about we get
to
the playoffs and see who the best team really is? But the problem is, no one can be trusted, including those pesky New England Patriots. Which no. I'm still not ready to write off yet. They still have Buffalo and the Jets, which I think that they'll win both of those games. Yeah. I did not think that they were going to beat the Steelers this week, even though I obviously very much wanted the Steelers to win. I gave them essentially no hope because traditionally Tom Brady and the Patriots own the Steelers. So the Chiefs, they also can't be trusted. They make mistakes in huge moments in games. It's not that they don't put up the numbers, because they do, but their defense forgets where they are at the end of games.
They still have some playmakers on defense, and I think that's the biggest difference for like the Colts, who could possibly get in the playoffs.
Play as a unit. That conversion, that 2-point conversion by Philip Rivers was inexplicable. There's no one on the entire side of the field.
Yeah, I mean, outside of that, their
high school
defensive
defense could have defended that. That's insane. Yeah, you can't have a miscommunication like that. Like at this point in the season, and then going into the postseason, you just can't make mistakes like that. Like that's the issue with the Chiefs. Like they've been playing undisciplined ball, if you will. And they have Seattle this week, which is not an easy game, and I don't think that the Raiders is an easy game either. Raiders don't mess around and beat someone for no reason.
Well, every year, defenses come into their own near the end of the season because they're not allowed to practice the way that the offenses can practice during the preseason. So defenses are getting out there. They're not allowed to go full go, so they're just figuring it out now. I think Eric Reid being in the backfield, coming off an injury, could change the Chiefs' defense as we see it, period. Justin Houston's still doing his thing. The Chiefs have enough pieces on defense to make a real Super Bowl run and win it.
All right, so pick a team right now, because that's the whole point of this conversation, is that no one can be trusted.
I mean, I think on the NFC, the Cowboys end up winning the division, which gets them in, obviously.
No. Pick a team right now. Pick a team to win the Super Bowl right now.
To win the Super Bowl right now?
Pick it. Because we picked teams at the beginning of the year, and the playoff standings right now are insane. There's so many teams that can still make the playoffs.
Chiefs.
You're going to pick the Chiefs. You feel like you can trust the Chiefs?
Yeah, Andy Reid gets his first. Well,
now you've put me in an awkward situation.
I'm just saying. I mean, what are you going to do? The history and the storybook for Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid has to start somewhere. It's this season. Things are in enough upheaval for this to come to fruition. I mean, I don't. The Chargers are the Chargers for a reason, so I'm not trusting them down the stretch. I think the Ravens are going to beat them.
We haven't even mentioned the Chargers. We have not even mentioned the Chargers in this conversation. I don't know what's happening with the Chargers, but I refuse to trust them. And generally, when I say that means they're going to win. But
yes,
I just can't bring myself to trust them.
Here's the difference between the Chargers. I think they have the same name recognition of playmakers on defense, but the Chiefs have more veteran playmakers, and that's the biggest difference.
No, I think the Chargers defense is better than Chiefs.
Yes, as athletics and like speed and all the bigger, stronger, faster. But when it comes to what wins playoff games, and that's not making mistakes, and because penalties are going to change the playoff situation as a whole.
I'm not going to pick the Chargers because I just can't do it. And also that's just my nightmare. But I think I'm with you actually. I think I have to go with the Chiefs because I think that the Chiefs are going to end up winning out. And I think they're going to have home field advantage, and it's going to be very, very difficult to go into Arrowhead and win. And I think they just put up more points than everyone else.
Yeah, I mean that's the end of the day. Like even throughout the season, we saw Patrick Mahomes lose to Tom Brady. We saw him lose to Phillip Rivers. But at the end of the day, we're still like, but like, did he really lose though? It still feels like he could have won those games.
He made mistakes at each point in those games where I felt like, okay, that's a first-year quarterback mistake.
Right.
Like, you can't do that. You got to throw that away, or you can't throw an interception in that spot, or you got to make a play there and not put the ball back in Rivers' hands.
Yep.
You know what your defense is, whatever. But I think I'm with you because at the end of the day, I don't know that any other offense can sustain it, and I don't know what's happening with the Saints right now.
I think it's Chiefs Saints Super Bowl, and that's the best any of us can ask for.
And you think that the Saints can beat the Chiefs in Atlanta?
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
Just like it's like so when no one's watching, they can win.
I guess they do play a lot there, huh?
Yeah. Somebody.
It's inside though.
What?
Yeah,
So
it's a dome.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know, but if they need to survive to that point, it'll be inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think you're still? What are your Steelers going to lose?
Why not the Steelers anymore, Jordan?
Yeah.
That was your
I don't-
start.
I
And why not the
know.
Vikings for you anymore, Brandon?
Oh yeah, what happened to the Vikings?
Yeah,
I mean, they gonna
we
be
got
fine.
purple all over this room because of the Vikings or whatever.
They're going to be.
That's why there's purple. I thought it was just my favorite color.
Lakers colors.
No.
Yeah.
No, that is not true. Don't endorse that narrative.
Look at the walls.
It's not TCU colors either. Purple is just my favorite color. Prince.
There
you go, Donnie.
There it is.
Now,
Sending purple
that's
hearts.
somebody that's making sense. Hey, I
Donnie
like
said
it.
Prince. Thank you, Donnie.
Purple hearts. We know
No,
we
I
at
don't
war.
trust the Steelers anymore. I don't trust anyone. And if I have to pick someone, I'm going to pick the Chiefs. What about the Vikings?
They have the Lions, who in every win on the Lions' schedule is an indictment of the team that lost. So they have the Lions and the Bears. Matt Nagy is going to rest his starters for the last game of the season. The Vikings are essentially going to win out and definitely get into the playoffs. So yes, they will make a run in the playoffs. Kirk Cousins will prove who he is yet again. We'll see.
Oh, he will prove who he is yet again?
I'm saying we'll see.
You know who Kirk Cousins is? Terrible in prime time. You know what playoff games are? Prime time. So no. Do I think that they may make the playoffs? Sure. That's adorable. Welcome to the playoffs. Are they going to do anything? No. Because at the end of the day, Kirk Cousins is their quarterback. He's a very, very expensive regular
Super
season
Bowl pick,
quarterback.
Brandon, you got nothing?
I mean, I can't say anything to that. She's right.
With
With it. With it. Quit it.
What?
With it.
We about to turn up in this bitch.
All right. What am I winning and quitting today?
The NFL MVP will be a quarterback per usual. Drew Brees has had a record-setting year, leading the Saints to a league best 12-2. Patrick Mahomes has better nicknames, flashier plays, and a great family at the game cutaway. And Phillip Rivers is making a late push with an impressive numbers of 69% completion rate, 3,951 yards, 31 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Joy, Patrick Mahomes will win MVP over Brees and Rivers. With it or quit it.
I am going to wit that.
Yes.
You didn't mention Luck, who is...
I omitted him on purpose.
in the conversation. I appreciate you doing that because there's no reason why Andrew Luck should win MVP this year.
Right.
And I know my television partner,
Yes.
Colin Cowherd, believes in Luck a lot. He also likes Andrew Luck a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like Andrew Luck has gotten a pretty decent amount of disrespect. He's also been injured a whole lot.
Right. Hence the disrespect.
Right. So the thing about luck is they lost 5 of their first 6 games. So no, sorry, that's a significant amount of the season.
He also hadn't thrown a thrown a football in a very long time up until that point.
I think your bow tie's malfunctioning. Seems to be giving up there.
Didn't like the take.
Yeah.
But yes. But that's what I'm saying.
Do you want to fix it?
I mean, yeah, I can get back on there. Some cat in the hat thing. Cat in the hat.
There we go.
Big neck.
The thing about it is you can't lose 5 of your first 6 games and be considered for MVP because those 6 games count.
Yes.
I get the conversation. We give away the MVP way too early every season, right? And we decide who the Super Bowl winner is way too early every season. All right. But the bottom line is the whole season matters, and how you finish the season matters, and how you started the season matters. And I'm just not giving it to luck. I'm sorry. Like, your record, all of that stuff has to match up. And for me, maybe the conversation isn't so much who's the MVP, because everyone gets called, well, he's not the most valuable player.
Right.
Maybe the center on some of these teams is the most valuable player. I don't know. The left tackle is the most valuable player. If we're going to get technical about it.
Yeah.
Like, the kicker has been the most valuable player for some teams.
A lot of teams. Tom Brady's entire career.
Right. So, no.
According to Rob Parker.
Yeah. Stop that. You're going to get me all riled up and I'm going to say things I don't mean. But the bottom line is, change the name of it then. Like, it's not the MVP. It's not the most valuable player. It's the best player for the best team with the best record. BBB. BBB.
With their actions, Triple B, shouts out. With their actions, though, you can prove what the MVP is. Like, traditionally, it's a quarterback award, and it goes to the best quarterback on the best team.
Right.
But switch it up. Give it to someone. Change the narrative.
No,
they do it all the time.
They're not going to do that. And it's like the discussion with LeBron James. Like, LeBron could win the MVP every year, but he doesn't. You know why? Because they give it to the best player on the best team who's playing the best, with the best record. That's what they do. Like, Steph Curry, you think he's the most valuable player on his team? Maybe, but Kevin Durant's there now, and he's pretty valuable. Right? Pretty valuable in the last 2 finals. Pretty valuable throughout the season when Steph Curry's out.
But
pretty
last time the Warriors had like the out and out best records, Steph won the MVP, did he not?
Sure.
Exactly. Like Harden won MVP last year when the Rockets.
Last year, and you could have made the argument very much so that LeBron was the MVP last season as well. Like,
but you got to be on the winningest team.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe the name of the award is wrong. Okay. But we're not going to get into we're not going to get into that because it's never going to change. So let's just call the MVP like it is, and then we're just going to give it to the best player on the best team with the best record. That's why Patrick Mahomes is going to win. And Patrick Mahomes has been incredible this year, and I don't know where all this Patrick Mahomes hate is coming from. Like, he didn't single-handedly lose these big games.
Well, but it's for the people who are loyal to Drew Brees, which I can respect.
Look, I respect it. Drew Brees has had a great season also, even though the last couple games they forgot how to score points.
Right.
Drew Brees has had an MVP caliber season, and depending on how these last 2 games go, he may end up being back on top of the MVP race after all. Who knows? But Phillip Rivers is, sorry. Like, I like Phillip Rivers a lot. Okay, they have a nice season. It's very nice. You're not going to win the MVP.
Somebody's got to never win it.
And that's Phillip Rivers. Like, and Drew Brees. Drew Brees never won MVP either.
Yeah.
So at least Drew Brees is in that conversation now.
Right.
Maybe next year. And as far as Andrew Luck goes, it's just not happening. So Patrick Mahomes is the MVP this year. Everyone needs to relax. The only way that he doesn't win the MVP is if they completely lay a fart the last 2 games and Drew Brees and the Saints lay the golden egg. Like, that's the only way that this happens at this point.
Yeah. I mean, even Carson Wentz was out and people were still talking about him winning the MVP last year. So he could still lay an egg and still win it, and no one bat an eye.
No, because I think people were tired of the Tom Brady MVP ordeal. People want Drew Brees to win the MVP. So that's a little bit different.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
Des Bryant is great at 2 things, catching footballs and tweeting. While watching the Chiefs lose to the Chargers, the injured Saints receiver tweeted this: "Call me crazy. I think Patrick Mahomes 5 and Andy Reid can have the Brady Belichick, Peyton Breeze effect to the game. My opinion. I see your comparisons, Mr. Des, and I raise you one of mine. Joy. Mahomes and Reid are the new Jordan and Phil Jackson. With it or quit it."
Quit it. Here's the thing. I like Patrick Mahomes a lot, and I like Andy Reid a lot. Seems like a very nice man. He's had his coaches from his coaching tree have had success. Okay, and I think that they are going to have a nice run in Kansas City. But let's win a championship first. Everyone just pump the old breakaroos, okay?
But the run happens after the championship.
Yeah. But they didn't win a championship yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So like we did this earlier this season with Goff and McVay. Remember with Goff and McVay?
Yeah.
They're like, they are the new.
Yes, but Goff and McVay has since shown that they ain't the new nothing.
Exactly. So everyone just calm down a second. Get a ring, and then we'll start having the conversation about Pat Riley, Magic Johnson, and Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan.
So when Phil
Popovich, Duncan, like, just relax. You have to win a ring before you start having the conversation
Current
about
stuff.
Yeah, I guess we got to do that. Yeah, but we have to.
You mean Luke Walton and stuff?
We got to do that.
So listen, at any point in time, so when Jordan and Phil Jackson were heating up, like around the first play, I wasn't reading the news at that point in time, so I don't know. Was no one talking about going on a run?
I don't care what they were talking about. I'm telling you that as much as I like Patrick Mahomes and I like Andy Reid and I think that they're an exciting team and they're going to be great, you got to win a championship first before you get in the conversation. Like don't disrespect what Pat Riley and Magic Johnson, what Phil Jackson and MJ, what Popovich and Duncan did. It's not easy to do what Steve Kerr and Steph Curry have done. It's not easy to do.
I'd argue what the Chiefs have done this year on Patrick Mahomes' first full year playing is not easy to do. And Andy Reid is a capable coach who's looking for a piece this entire time to actually win a Super Bowl game. McNabb couldn't do it. There's a bunch of guys who couldn't do it, but Andy Reid was helping them.
But they didn't
Mahomes
win
can
the Super Bowl yet.
Okay,
Yet.
Yeah.
When they win the Super Bowl, we will revisit this conversation, and then we can start projecting how many rings they're going to get. But let's start with one.
Des is a good follow on Twitter, ain't he?
Let's just start with one.
Ding dong, the Pats are dead. The wicked warlock of the AFC East is crumbling before our eyes. Brady and Belichick are showing cracks that we've never seen before in back-to-back weeks, but so is everyone else in the AFC. If you're a Patriot like I am, you got to be hopeful that this is the end of the New England Patriot dominance. Joy, the Patriots will not win the Super Bowl this year. With it or quit it.
Yeah, I'm gonna win it. They're not gonna win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, it's the trend of today.
I feel weird saying that. Like as I say it, there's like this little like flying football gremlin. It's like, I am in 100 dreams. Yes, I will. Rah! It's never gonna end.
Tom Brady of Christmas past.
Yeah,
playoff
because
pass.
that's what they do. They're 9-5. They lost their 5th road game of the season in Pittsburgh to a team that they normally dominate.
Mm-hmm.
They're one game behind the Texans for the number 2 seed in the AFC, and they would play on a wild card weekend for the first time in 9 years if the season ended today. But it doesn't end today, and they have the Jets and the stupid Bills.
Yes.
So
Bills going to beat the Patriots.
the Bills?
Bills going to beat the Patriots this week.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think that they went out, but Tom Brady's playoff record as of late on the road is not good, and I just think this team is not really that talented. And Tom Brady's kind of been holding it all together, and eventually the wheels are going to fall off. There's just not enough talent. I
mean, Rob Gronkowski was thinking about retiring before the season started. He came back. He's been injured and a little limited. It's just tough sledding. The Patriots have not won the Super Bowl anytime that they have to start the season playoffs on the road. They're going to have to do it this season. That's it. They're out.
It's and the way that they've been playing on the road during the regular season, it just doesn't look good. So I don't think this is the end of Tom Brady or the end of the era. I think they gear up next year and come back and probably are in the conversation for a championship next year. It's not over for Tom Brady. Everyone needs to relax.
Yeah, I do think Tom Brady will get one more in his time, but it's definitely not going to be this year.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be this year either, no. But I'm so afraid, just to be clear. Hear ye, hear ye. People that spoil Santa are petty.
What?
Okay, so spoiler alert.
Yes. If
the babies are listening,
Santa spoilers.
Keep watching, just turn the volume down.
Right.
Until you no longer see the wand, and then you can turn it back up. Mm-hmm. Okay? So there you go.
Yes.
I made this mistake once on Miami radio. Again, spoiler alert. Hello.
Yes.
Okay.
Pay attention.
I made the mistake on Miami radio of just saying, well, that's you guys. So you guys still think that Santa exists? It's on the radio without any warning.
No, so you gotta say Santa spoiler.
I got vitriol backlash from our listeners. Many people on the text machine. Radio stations have text machines,
right.
And also tweets of unhappy people.
Was that the first big thing you had pushback from?
Yeah, it was unpleasant. I'll be honest with you, I didn't care, but it was a very upsetting thing for many people. They were like, what are you doing? My kid is in the car. Doesn't they have to explain, like, oh, like Miss Joy was just kidding. Like, it's just an adult joke. There really is a Santa Claus. I did not grow up with Santa Claus, believing in Santa Claus, because Santa Claus is anti-Jesus.
I found that later on that was the case, even though it's on his birthday.
When did you...
Santa Claus is on his birthday.
Santa Claus is on Jesus' birthday?
Yeah, Santa Claus is on Jesus' birthday.
You know, the thing about Santa Claus is, like, once you start questioning Santa Claus, there's just so many questions about Santa Claus.
Oh, my gosh. The hoax of the century.
Well, right.
Spoiler alert.
Well, so this is right. So there's exactly. When you grow up not believing in Santa Claus, I think it affects your ability to, like, believe in anything.
That's why I'm here right now.
Because most people go through. Well, I mean, I guess I can't speak for Jewish people.
Right. Well, yeah, because how does it?
How's that work?
Like, what's the 100%? How does it work?
Yes.
Coming from a 100% Ashkenazi Jew.
Yeah, Ariana's 100% Jewish.
I feel like I always knew that he didn't exist, but I just didn't share with my friends.
Right. So is that like the policy?
But like, how did you find? Like, what's the thing? Like, how do you?
I don't even think there was a thing. I don't
like,
even
who's that
remember
guy with the red
oh my
suit?
God, there's no Santa because I never believed in him anyways.
But like, when you see the big thing
your
around,
friends were like talking about Santa Claus, you were like dorks.
No, I just kept my mouth shut.
I too did not tell anyone.
Right.
But I didn't. I just assumed like it was a thing everybody knew.
Yeah, no, because when I got told that there was no Santa Claus, I was like 6 or 7. So in elementary school, when kids at the table is on some dumbass conversations talking about what Santa is doing, I'm like, this is so sad. Like, I got to keep my mouth shut. I got to play along.
All right. Okay,
That's when I started lying.
That's the position that you put kids in, right? So this is where I'm at right now with it, because like, you know, you have children eventually.
Yes.
Like, what do you tell them? Do you make them believe in Santa Claus? Because I'm in a pickle with it. I don't know where I stand on it exactly. And now Santa Claus is expanded because you have this elf guy. You know about the elf?
Oh, up on the
Thankfully,
shelf?
no.
Up on the shelf, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a spy.
Right. So
You know
like
what I'm
it's just
saying?
like
It's
there's like more lies.
What? I mean,
The lies get
okay.
creepier too.
Well, yeah,
The elf on the shelf is creepy. Okay.
Elf on the shelf.
And guys,
it's a Toys R Us story.
It seems like a lot of work. You gotta move that thing every night. You gotta put them in creative positions.
Think about how boring life is in general. To put something somewhere creatively every day of December is pretty fun.
I just think I was just as excited for Christmas without the notion of Santa Claus.
Yes.
And it made me appreciate, you know, what my mom does a little bit more. Because I was like, oh, like my mother is getting me these gifts.
Honestly,
and my
yes.
father, but mostly my mother is getting me
Right.
these gifts. And like this is a gift from her to me.
Yeah, at that point in time, I was happy to find out Santa was fake because, like, at that point in time, I was like, you know, in some white friends' households, and I'm like, looking, I'm like, wait a minute, is Santa racist too? Like, does Santa not like? Does Santa
I don't believe in white Santa. I
specifically
specifically bought a black
Eric
Santa
has better gifts than me.
for
Just like honest to God, Eric's gifts are better than mine. What's the deal?
You always have to have a black angel too. If you do the
Oh,
angel, I do
black
the
angel
star
still.
now, but you of course have a black angel, and I bought a black Santa the other day. Shout out CVS.
Ooh, black Santa.
Yeah, he's strong.
I mean,
He's strong.
Yeah.
When did you find out Santa didn't exist?
I want to say about 7 or 8 too. I think a year or two before the other kids. There's a lot of power in the knowledge of knowing your
Yeah, it
friends.
seems like that's what it is.
Your friends are dumb kids still, and you're an adult at 7 or 8 because you do
So it's like a
something they
growing
don't.
thing.
Yeah, but honestly, listening to you guys talk about it, it's so the adults can pretend.
yeah, it's actually
It's like
it's
so
like
we
it's a
can
power
like it's
thing
like
over the kids.
Like we do we're doing a Christmas episode. It's like an easy trope for us. Like it's an easy trope for like killing a month of the year of parenting. I
okay,
think.
that's a different word from killing, but,
But
yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
don't you
By
just
killing, I meant
don't
doing
you
real
want the
good.
credit of doing that?
I preferred knowing because like I was like, dang, my mom and dad, they like individual, you know, separated homes, one Christmas, whichever home it was, and I was like, dang, they really showed out this year. Look at them.
Right.
They did good.
Like they love me.
Yeah.
They bought me all these gifts.
Yeah, I did all right this year.
It's an unnecessary lie, I think.
I think it is. And I don't want to ruin Christmas.
My-
but
my-
I just think it seems like it's just a lot of work.
My brother does a very interesting thing. Zoe is 7, and she talks to me. She's like, Uncle BJ, my dad doesn't believe in Santa Claus, but I do. And that's
but it's so sweet when they believe in Santa Claus.
That's what they do,
so
and he's like, my
nice.
dad doesn't believe.
You see the little sparkle in their eye. I changed my mind.
It's about believing.
Yeah.
And you should let people have the belief of things.
Yeah. You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's because I didn't have that opportunity to believe in that, so
yeah.
I'm just jaded.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably was the start of many things that are wrong with me.
I mean, like football in the
I
holidays
should make a
is
note to
bad.
talk to my therapist about this.
Damn. Holidays. But holidays during football season is always weird anyways. Like these football players and basketball players, sports, like they're not sitting at home with their kids on the day. Like there's still work to do.
There's lots of people that work on Christmas.
But I'm saying, okay, yeah. But it's not a holiday, I'm saying. There's been plenty of times where I had to go to bowl games and the hardest practice of the week was on Christmas. And it just didn't feel like, it wasn't a big
Well,
deal
yeah,
at
when
all.
you're an adult, Christmas matters less. It's not about you. Christmas isn't about us. It's
So I
about
got to
kids.
get kids for it to care again?
No, you got to get your niece a bunch of stuff and say it came from Santa.
But if I give her a bunch of stuff, what am I going to get myself?
You don't get yourself stuff on Christmas. That's the
Hell,
whole
you
point.
don't. I work hard. It is treat yourself December.
I feel you because there has
Yes.
been, I have resisted the urge to buy myself things several times throughout these. I'm like, no.
I can use that.
I will not do it.
That might be nice.
Because that is a nice sale.
I got something.
Say it.
Around Christmas time, I got caught stealing And One Mixtape Volume 6.
From a big cart? Or like
Nah,
one
it
of the
was-
big DVDs
nah,
that
it
was
was-
mixed in?
Nah, it was from, I pulled the DVD out. It was from Target. I had just learned that maybe we weren't as rich as I thought we were. And so I was like, oh, I really want this though. And I didn't really understand how rules worked. And I got caught. I'm not allowed to go back in Target technically, but they let me in there.
Yeah.
You stole something from Target?
You're
Oh
banned.
my God.
Yeah.
Plain
you
clothes.
are truly
Plain clothes.
like you are the essence of yourself.
Yeah, Prince of Privilege.
I think they sent a check.
You know the first time I stole something? Kmart.
Kmart? What was it?
I stole some
Shaq
candy.
shoes?
I
Oh,
stole some candy.
Yeah.
And my sister made me bring it back in.
Yeah, shouts to And One
And
Mixtape
give it to
Volume
the
6.
manager
though.
and apologize.
Yes, same thing with me with an apple. I was like, yeah, this is apples. Book fairs.
I don't know. This took a detour. The bottom line is I think I'm advocating for believing in Santa again. I've come full circle in this conversation.
Yeah, for the people. For the whatever.
No,
whoever.
for the kids.
Just.
They get so excited.
But why?
Because they believe in something that's ridiculous.
If you would have sat on a bad Santa's lap, that would have messed everything up.
Well, it would have changed my mind, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have any pictures with Santa.
No, me either.
Just pictures as Santa.
Hey, go
shouts
like our
out.
video. All right, lit list.
At the light show, ooh.
Oh, what a beautiful day this will be. What a glorious, glorious day
What are you talking
in
about?
sports history when James Dolan sells the Knicks.
Oh, yes. Please, Lord.
He sat down with ESPN's Ian O'Connor and discussed his responsibility to shareholders. And he said, I could never say that I wouldn't consider selling the Knicks. He said that there's been feelers out there. It's been in the territory of $5 billion, which seems reasonable. I'm being serious. It's the New York Knicks.
It is. No, it is. That is reasonable.
It's a reasonable price
yeah.
for the New York Knicks.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, like Forbes had them valued at $3.6 billion. So if someone's going to actually buy him at a price that he's going to be willing to move on, $5 billion seems about right. It would just be amazing. They are 664 to 909 with 6 playoff appearances since he became the chairman.
Dang.
For anyone who's not good at math, like myself, not good. And of course, they have just been riddled with embarrassing moments, one on top of the other.
Yes. On and off
Bad
the floor.
signs. Of course, the altercation with
Oakley.
which was just it was really just the cherry on top of the
Yes, Dolan.
Knicks Dolan dysfunction pie, and or I guess Sunday.
Yes, yes.
And I just really hope this happens, and just the fact that it's even a conversation is really great. And you say, why, Joy? You don't care about the Knicks. No, I don't care about the Knicks as far as a fan situation goes. But as a person who enjoys content for a living, I like the Knicks to be good.
Amen.
And the league is better when the big storied franchises are good. Guess what? Lakers being good has been f***ing awesome. All right? Even
No
if you
one's even
don't
mad
like the
about it.
Lakers, even if you don't
Yes.
like the Lakers, you like the fact that you can legitimately talk about the Lakers and hate on the Lakers again,
Yep.
as opposed to being like, yeah, Lakers are super irrelevant. What are you gonna say? It's awesome that the Lakers are good again,
Yes.
and that LeBron is here. It's awesome that the Sixers are good. It's awesome that the Celtics are good. It's great. It's great for everybody.
It's a great time right now.
Yes, it really is.
What a time
and
to
so
be alive.
I would really like for the Knicks to sell the team and let someone come in there and run it properly. If you're a free agent, you don't even want to go to New York. That is insane.
That's what I'm saying. As soon as they get rid of Dolan, that place can be the new Warriors. No offense to Warriors fans.
Or offense, whatever.
Yeah, or like,
there's a poll. We talked about it on the Herd.
Yes.
I forget which company it is, so sorry, I can't give you credit. Look it up. It's the Hater poll.
Yes.
Hater Nation poll, and most of the country shockingly hates the Warriors. It's like 26 states.
Hate us because they ain't us. Hey, remember when the Knicks were about to get Steve Kerr, and then he was like, "Nah, that sounds like garbage. I'm going to the Warriors." Yeah, cool, awesome.
Yeah, smart move by him.
Totally.
No, and
He's
look,
a
like
factor.
when LeBron was with the Heat, I would say 90% of the country would have said that they hated the Heat, which is fine with me.
Yeah.
I'm completely cool with it.
It's different with the Warriors. They have Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Boogie Cousins on their team.
I keep forgetting about Boogie.
Iguodala too is pretty solid.
I mean, you have a guy who won the MVP in Finals MVP.
Nobody hates Iguodala.
Yeah, no one.
Even haters don't hate Iguodala.
No.
I like
yeah.
that. Okay, that makes me feel good actually.
It's like not a name you throw out there. For
Yeah.
like
Iguodala got popular on a team with Allen Iverson on it. Like everyone loves Iguodala.
Yeah, there's not people that.
Yeah, I
that
too.
I don't think there's. Does anyone even troll Iguodala?
Sixers fans used to hate him.
Yeah. No, there's
Sixers
someone.
fans hate
Sixers
him?
fans hate everybody. It's Philly fans. They hate everybody. All right, next on the list is Marcus Peters. Oh, I have stuff to say about this. Okay, so Eagles and Rams Sunday night. Bad job by the Rams. Bad job by the Rams. But Marcus Peters decided to go up into the stands after a fan who was yelling at him and confronted him. He used some choice words, which we won't get into.
The choicest of words.
The choicest. The most potent,
Just the
if you will.
yes. The N word of insults. If you will.
Can't argue with that.
If you will.
Anyway, the fan decided that he didn't want the smoke. Actually, he changed his mind very quickly. No smoke for me. No, thank you, sir. Don't touch me, please. I believe were his words.
Yes.
And it's the most punk shit ever. Like, I'm so off this, and it's happening more frequently now. And I think it does have a lot to do with social media. Like, people have this idea that they can just talk shit to whoever they want to for as long as they want to, and nothing's ever going to happen to them. I got news for you. Hands will be laid eventually. It's going to happen. It's going to start happening. Like, it just is what it is. This whole like anonymous troll thing. It's been thriving for quite some time. It's
Right.
become a thing. It's less and less. It's less smart.
Gonna add
to
some
do that,
mugshots
okay?
to some troll stories
Right,
pretty
like
soon.
it's
here.
going to know. It's not going to be sustainable for much longer. People
Right.
are tired of having talk to them and then there be no responses. It's why a lot of players are responding on social media now. Mm-hmm. Even if nothing ever comes of it, they're going to let you know that they see you and what they think of you. And I personally try to stay out of the mentions because it's
Right.
just, for the most part, a bunch of nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what I think is happening here. Like, people pay for their tickets and they go to the game. And obviously this has been going on for years and years, but I think it's escalating now. And what used to be just a sea of voices, now people really feel like I can say whatever I want.
Right, I
and
matter.
for as long as I want. I mean, we just saw Kevin Durant do it the other night. Like, it's
He's gonna keep doing it all season long. I feel like because
Yeah.
they're gonna keep talking to Kevin.
right. And I just feel like first of all, you're not that you care, obviously, because you're heckling someone, so it's not like your mind is working properly. No offense, or actually offense. I don't care. You're ruining the experience for everyone around you. Like, so if you're in any way self-conscious, just know everyone around you hates you. Everyone.
Yeah.
No one is enjoying themselves, and it's because of your presence, first of all. Second, you're going to come across someone who ain't with the shits today.
Not that
Not
day.
today. Not
that,
today.
yes,
Today,
yes.
they got time.
Keep it real
Yesterday,
goes wrong.
I ain't had time, cuz.
Yes.
Today, I got time,
Right, time.
cuz. And they're really going to have time, cuz.
Right.
And it's not going to go well for you.
Right.
So I don't have a problem with what Marcus Peters did. He really let him know what he thought about the situation and what he thought of him, and I'm on his side because in general I don't like for players to get involved with fans and stuff, and like Kevin Durant, there's situations where you kind of gotta let go, but eventually somebody's not gonna let go, and I'm not gonna feel bad for them because it's coming to a head. Like it was Leonard Fournette last year. Quentin Jefferson, remember, was about to climb up into the stands.
Yep.
I mean, like, you really rethink everything in your life when a defensive tackle is about to climb up in the stands after your ass.
Rightfully so. You got to change. You got to make some life changes.
You know what it is? It's just a bunch of people who have never had hands on them before, who feel like they can say whatever they want.
Yeah.
And they're going to come across the wrong one on the wrong day, and it's going to be bad.
Oh, they're getting yelled at by their bosses all week long, and they come to these games and they just want to yell at some players. I get it.
Dog, get a therapist.
Yeah, they should
Get
do
a
that.
stress ball.
But yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Okay? Go
Or a
take a
six-pack.
boxing class.
Yeah. And stay
Stress
home.
eat.
Yes.
Okay? Do all things that don't put your life in danger, because what you're doing is legitimately that.
Well, stress eat. We got to protect ourselves, not eat ourselves in oblivion. You know, gluttony is a sin.
It's it. It's the holidays. You get a pass right now. Finally, last on the list is the Browns.
Liddy.
Man, what a world we live in, right? The
It's a
Browns
beautiful one.
are in December in playoff contention. They're still in the hunt. Okay,
Yes.
but like that's a thing. That's something.
They won all 6
They were
games.
2-5-1 with Hugh,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course we know what a disaster they were the first 2 years with Hugh Jackson. And since then they're 4-2. They trail the Steelers and the Ravens in the AFC North, obviously, and they're in a bunch of jumble of teams: the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Colts, and the Titans for the second wild card spot in the AFC. But Baker got a big win against the Broncos, and that's a hard place to play,
Yeah.
and they deserve some credit. And so does
Yeah.
Greg Williams, because he's not going to get that job, but he's got to be in that conversation.
It's at least a blueprint for the Browns when they go out to find a replacement coach, to have somebody who's fiery, who is defensive minded maybe, and let Baker and whoever do their thing on offense.
I mean, I don't know that the fiery thing, like I don't buy into that so much, like long term. But
Well,
I think that this, like, you
Pete
needed
Carroll's
an
okay.
injection of energy. You needed a change of pace.
Mm-hmm.
You needed a change of direction, and they did the right thing. And like, sorry for Hugh, but man, like that's a hard L on your resume. Like, you can't argue it. They were so bad they didn't win a game.
Have the Bengals won since you joined the coaching staff?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Just before the
They
Hugh
beat the
Browns
Raiders
thing.
this week.
Before the Hugh Browns.
All right, loser power rankings.
Loser power rankings. These are the losers of the week.
That kind of sounds like a what is that Christmas song?
Jingle bells.
No.
Are there words to that song? All the
know.
car commercials end with that.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, yeah,
You
that's
like-
nice.
you get Alexis
Yes,
or
but like,
something?
wait, is that yeah, Alexis commercial? Is there words to that song though? We should learn the
You know
words
what
to
I
that
haven't
song.
seen? Are they still doing the Budweiser commercials with the big horses?
Clydesdales?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, Super Bowl, they gotta have one.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I thought
little
they used to
baby
do that around
Clydesdale.
Christmas.
I saw one.
Yeah,
You
they
saw
did?
one?
I
What you
thought the
watching?
animal
What channel
rights
you
people
watching?
finally
What
got
channel
to
is
them.
on? What are you watching, Ashley? What channel are you watching?
I thought the animal rights people finally got to them.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I
come
thought
on, man.
happened.
Clydesdales.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
They're so pretty. I don't mess with horses, though.
I'm terrified of Clydesdales.
No. Huh? Any horse. No, thank you.
I saw a Clydesdale once and I was like, okay, yep, aliens for sure.
Clydesdales?
Aliens. I saw a Clydesdale and confirmed aliens exist. If that creature is on this planet, and there used to be a bunch more of those, just big ass horses, steroid ass
You didn't
horses.
feel like that way when you saw a squid for the first time?
Nah, I had seen the Clydesdale first.
No.
So it was like,
All right. Anyway, yeah, I'm off horses. I used to, like, my father used to put me on the horses. This little farm thing we used to go to when I was little, and it's just like I'm like holding on. Like, why would people do this for fun?
I want to try one, but I'm just too heavy for a horse. I am. There's a weight limit for horses.
I don't think you are. All right. Anyway, losers. Cowboys. They ride horses.
Oh, yeah, there you go. What a
And
segue.
they lost to the Colts. Also a horse.
Hey.
It's 23-0. Everything comes full circle.
Horse won.
Time is a flat circle.
Yes.
And the horse won.
blue horse
The horse
won.
had time for the Cowboys this week.
Yes.
Bad loss to the Cowboys.
Really
Snapped their
bad.
5-game win streak and cost them a chance to clinch the NFC East. I do believe I called this one.
You did, and I was like, joy.
Yeah.
That's how I watched it. Joy.
They'll get an opportunity to wrap it up this week at home against Tampa Bay, but if we know the Cowboys the way that we do, they will probably mess that up as well.
Scoring zero is like since 2000. Getting shut out is crazy
No, it's the first time they've been shut out since 2003. And look, I root for Dak.
by the Colts.
I root for Dak, but the Colts are playing well right now. That's why I said this is a trap game for the Cowboys. Everybody's all high on the Cowboys. Ooh, relax, all right? Andrew Luck's got some for him, and he did. And the defense was great for the Colts, obviously, because they had a whole dub, all right? Like, I like Dak, okay? But if Ezekiel Elliott doesn't go crazy.
It's not Dak's fault that they don't give Ezekiel Elliott the ball to run. They have to give him the ball to be successful. Let it run through him.
How many times did Ezekiel Elliott run?
Not as much as usual, and he had less than 80 yards.
But yeah, it can't happen.
But maybe this is the loss that the Cowboys needed to, go
all those other L's
steam
earlier.
Yeah, they're the Bucks and the Giants later.
What else?
What else? Huh?
What else?
Yeah, they're gonna
Our odds to make the playoffs dropped from 100 to 97%. So I think we'll be okay.
They've taken 6 L's to be exact. Those L's.
Yeah.
What about the Dolphins?
Look, I don't. They're still probably going to win the NFC East.
Yes.
But it's just a loss like that is like why the situation with Dak is so complicated. And it's like it just is what it is. Like this is going to be the conversation all year. This was Dak's year to prove everyone wrong, and I really feel like he hasn't done that.
But it happens in the games that don't matter. So I mean, the rope extends because on the big games, opposite of Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott shows up.
Because it's Kirk Cousins. All right. Second loser this week. Maroon 5 cannot find anyone to perform with them. ATL shouty. So obviously they've had a lot of criticism for committing to perform at the event and not standing with Colin Kaepernick. Amy Schumer inexplicably is on my notes of people that tried to try to convince them not. There's a lot of people besides Amy Schumer that try to convince Maroon 5.
I mean, she's a big name.
To turn the offer down.
On the list.
Rihanna also. Amy Schumer is not the name that pops in my mind.
She was the first one though. She was the first one too. Okay, whatever.
No, we were the first ones too.
Yeah, we were. And if it wasn't us, it was somebody else black.
You asked for celebrities.
Cardi B. I mean, this is why. Like, I'm literally. I have to read over these notes before Ashley gives them to me because I'm truly Ron Burgundy. Like as I was reading them, I'm like, I don't care that Amy
Schumer is coming after Maroon 5.
What about all of the city of Atlanta and every artist that's ever played there or ever come from there? Cardi B also has turned it down, and apparently Andre 3000 and Mary J. Blige, which I would never do it.
That'd be great.
Mary J. couldn't do it because of scheduling issues.
Yeah. All right, Mary J. No drama.
Exactly. Of course, the NFL hasn't officially announced Maroon 5 as the act, but we all know that that's the case.
Right.
The bottom line is, like, you should have just had someone from Atlanta do it.
Yes.
All right.
They avoided all of this.
Because they would have said yes, because it would have been for the city.
And everyone would have joined on.
And someone would have gone up there and said something about Colin Kaepernick. And guess what? You could have avoided the whole Colin Kaepernick situation too while we're at it, but whatever.
Josh Jackson out here taking snaps. Johnson, apologize. JJ.
Someone named Josh that hasn't thrown the ball in a long time.
Yeah,
finally, the Suns. Oh! What an enjoyable night on Twitter that was.
Oh, man.
What the was that? That was an embarrassment. Okay, so if you didn't see this, the Trevor Ariza trade finally went through. He went to the Wizards, and Kelly Oubre and someone else, Austin Rivers, went to the Suns, unfortunately for them. And before that, it was going to be some other trade, and there was a Brooks person. There was one Brooks player that was supposed to go, a guy named Brooks. His last name's Brooks. Was supposed to go to the Suns, but the Suns thought they wanted the other guy, but then they didn't know that there were two Brooks.
Two Brooks.
Yeah, there's two Brooks.
Maybe
in the three-way trade.
Wrong Brooks.
Nobody knows what's going on. The bottom line is disaster. And then, of course, Greta. If you did not see Greta,
shame on each and all of you.
Just give it a little search on Twitter. It's worth it. Miss Greta gave what did she I mean, she had to read. She took all the shade from all of her centuries on this earth and just gave it to Robert Sarver and the Suns and whoever was in that room. And she called someone out particularly on their morals, which I mean she gave them that grandma treatment.
Yeah,
that's like you ain't gonna say nothing to this lady.
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not angry. You have truly lost my respect as an elder on this earth.
Damn, Grandma.
As someone who's seen more than you can imagine and lived and endured more than you have, you are failing.
Yes,
you're
person.
You are a failure.
Yes.
You have failed.
Because Suns-related actions.
Yes. And it just the Suns are just a disaster, and so they're losers this week. And good for Trevor getting out of there.
I mean, Book, and there's some people you're gonna watch still.
No, of course. Like it's unfortunate. Like they really actually have some talent on their team.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully, Booker gets out of there eventually. Greta. I felt that one in my soul. No one was even speaking.
I was gonna say, like,
blinking
she's
when she was talking.
Yeah, like, no one would either.
I'm at the video cut out before what I assume was a standing ovation from everyone in the crowd. Because she said, quote, "He's so tight, he squeaks when he walks."
Bars.
She's got
Damn.
bars.
You can't even walk anymore
When
after
Keeping It
that
Real
because
goes right.
everyone's going to hear him squeaking.
Okay, Migos Culture Report.
All right, here we go.
So perfectly named this week.
So Cardi B and Offset, y'all heard us last week. They beefing.
Well, yeah. It was R.I.P. and now in true relationship fashion, maybe not so much.
When the matter of the heart is involved,
Right.
I have nothing written for this read. I just wanted to openly talk about this. Like, Earl posted that you guys talked about it a little bit.
Well,
like,
yeah, because everyone, we weren't the only ones. Everyone discusses, has been discussing Cardi B and Offset.
Yes.
Obviously, Offset showed up at the Rolling Loud performance, Cardi's Rolling Loud performance with all these flowers and tried to do this big romantic gesture. And I watched it and I felt bad for Cardi. And there's some mixed opinions about feeling bad for Cardi, obviously. Well, because here's the thing. Like, I get what he's trying to do. And he came out and was like, my sins are public, basically. So like I thought my apology should be public, and I feel bad for him too because public relationships are very difficult.
Right.
But the thing about it is that she's working, bro.
Right.
She's busy right now.
There's times like you didn't cheat on her during one of your working, like maybe he did while he was at work.
But the thing about it is like,
but you know what I mean.
It's just like it's complicated,
Yes.
and there's a baby. You know what I mean? It's like so you put her in a position right now where you got to make a decision. I got to make a decision right now. All these people right now. I got to decide right now. Like it says, take me back. You're asking. I got to make a decision right now.
Like who do you think
and
she is?
And then she looks irritated, understandably so. It's just very awkward for everyone
Deer in
involved.
the headlights, yeah.
And Heller, Prince of Privilege, of course, had no idea what I was talking about when we were discussing this yesterday in prep.
Yeah.
And now
I learned a lot.
And now you understand.
I learned a lot. I just had my white blinders on. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I was like, what a nice gesture.
Blinders, like
what a nice gesture. It is. I will say it's a little confusing since the proposal was the exact same as the apology in this situation.
Great point to bring up.
Feels like he's going back to the well, which also not ideal. But the notion of him like stealing her shine and doing that shit at work, I had missed that. So thank you for peeping.
The thing about it is that it's not the right place or time to do that. Like if you want to do something romantic, do it in a way where she can actually like process it, as opposed to being on stage and obviously like that's how she felt because. You could see that she is not receptive to this particular situation.
Right. She didn't say hell
at
yeah.
all. No.
Well,
and then she's gonna come out afterwards and say like, "Don't come at him," like, because he's the father of her child.
Yes.
And it's like the whole thing and it's not. Is it all on him? I'm not gonna say that. Probably. But the thing about it is that I feel bad for her. Like it's a bad situation.
It was awkward.
All right. Also this weekend, Kanye and Drake beef reemerged.
Yeah. So there's a Kanye tweet storm. It started with a screenshot of a message when you get a notification for a message from a guy named Free saying that Drake wants a release of a song.
A gal named Free.
Of course, yes. Wanted to release a song, So Far Gone, that Drake had put on a mixtape back in the day. Obviously, probably to put mixtapes on streaming platforms, which would be great for Drake followers and fans like me. But that gave Drake the go-ahead to kind of, I guess, get caught up on his own beef. It seems as though he had not heard Sicko Mode. He had not listened to, Kanye had not heard Sicko Mode, has not listened to anything, and that tweet of him asking for a release followed up with "This is why this faker than wrestling" led to Kanye going on a Twitter storm.
Sicko Mode's been out for so long.
That's what I'm saying. I know.
I've listened to it
he
so
must
many
have
times.
just heard it, and that's what I was thinking at the
Does
time.
he have
though,
Spotify?
It's been out since August, literally August.
You know what happened? I just figured it out.
Talk to me.
Okay, because I had no idea what I was reading
Yes.
Kanye's tweets. I'm like, what the is he talking about?
Yes.
And then Kim's talking about there wouldn't be any Drake. Like, huh? Here's the thing, okay?
I disagree. I agree with that, by the way.
I just figured, I don't know if I agree or not. It doesn't matter because we'll never know.
It's a different conversation.
But I just figured it out.
What?
Kanye has, of course, heard Sicko Mode. He just didn't know it was about him. Someone just told him.
He did follow up again with another tweet saying, actually, I like Sicko Mode, but I don't like that it was a sneak diss.
He had no idea it was about him.
So, correction, Kanye West does like the song of the year.
I just solved it.
Yes.
He didn't. He's heard the song many times. He's jammed out to the song. He's driven down Sunset Boulevard with the top down to the song.
But he's now listening to it.
He had no idea it was talking about him.
Yeah, he was listening to it with a new ear.
Unfortunate.
Yes.
All right, thanks for joining us this week. This is our last full episode before Christmas, so Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us all year. We will also have a New Year's special, and if you're watching this before Christmas, we're going to have a nice little Christmas bonus episode for you, but we appreciate you guys. Hope you have a nice Christmas with your family, holidays with your family, travel safe, fight the good fight, argue with your family, advocate for that, as always.
Fight for change.
Shout out to the Maybe I'm Crazy podcast fantasy football league.
Yes,
I lost this week. Shout out to Keenan Allen, who was a big loss for me this week. Keenan Allen and James White, not good picks for me this week. Although no one on my bench would have been any better, so it really doesn't matter. So Six God is the winner, heading to the championship against
your boy B New.
Yeah,
God's plan. And I had a rough week. Ezekiel Elliott wasn't putting up points. Like Adam Thielen disappeared, obviously. But I gotta Patrick Mahomes did a job.
Championship this week.
Yes.
And so good luck to Six God, because I don't want Brandon to win.
What? Why not?
Because I'm not winning.
But that's what we do the thing. I don't even know him.
Well, no. Also, I would like for one of our listeners to win, so we can send them our.
Unless it's God's plan.
Gift.
You know what I mean?
I just pat myself on the back, though. I am in the championship game in my other league, though. So.
Oh, okay. Yes. You're doing well in that. You're actually that is a huge
Actually, I
accomplishment.
scraped by this week. It was
Really?
a miracle I won. And I don't know if I'm going to win the championship because I'm a mixed match of team.
Yeah.
At this point.
Top 4 finish though for both you guys. Strong first season.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully
we
Brandon
know,
gets the chip and we out here.
We know football.
We know some things, so we get really lucky.
Yes.
Anyway, shout out to everyone. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Follow us on our page at Maybe I'm Crazy Pod. We dropped some hot fire, and we've got more for you coming up. Share with your friends. Follow us on YouTube at Maybe I'm Crazy Podcast. Happy Holidays, everybody, and
thank you guys.
We love you.
Bye.
Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not.